Hello and welcome back to Coinscrum's Meet the Founders series. I'm delighted to be joined today by Louis Liu, founder at the Octopus Network. Hi, Louis.
Yeah, hi, Paul. Nice to be here.
No, thank you for joining us from Beijing. Good to get the perspective of developments in your part of the world, because obviously lots of stuff going on across the globe in this industry, and it's always difficult to keep up with everything. So we're here today to talk about the Octopus Network, and hear a bit more about what you're developing, what challenges you're overcoming, and how you're addressing these. So we'd like to start just hearing about our founders' backgrounds, what they were doing before they entered the world of blockchain. So what were you doing in your previous life?
Yeah, I would say I'm developer for more than 20 years, so I'm quite old.
Join the club.
Yeah. I joined this. I noticed the crypto space back in 2013, and I read a news article from a portal. The title was a new type of scam named Bitcoin has collapsed, and the price fall from, I think, is from $30 to $2. And I think it's scary things we should notice. So I read it through, and fortunately we have some. I'm quite free as these days, and I find out the white paper and read it through. It's very interesting. Since I'm a software designer, the architecture of the Bitcoin is very astonishing to me. I would say. I've been working for Hewlett-Packard and China Mobile for many years, and we design the IT system, and we use redundancy to provide more reliability of the system. But for Bitcoin, every computation and every piece of information will happen in everyone's computer and stored in everyone's computer. It is very strange for me, for a traditional software architect. And I guess we will get some new property emerging from this extremely redundant architecture. And the things maybe we do not need a centralized ledger keeper for this database. And I wouldn't say I realized the great potential of the Bitcoin at that time, but but I do realize there is something brand new inside the design. So I tried to buy some Bitcoin at the time. I think it's not about few dollars. It's about $80, I think, on Mountain Gox, and I grabbed a few for myself. And it's the starting point of my crypto journey. Yeah.
Sure. Well, I think things have developed quite considerably since then, and obviously, Bitcoin's well documented, caused some frustrations amongst some developers about its limitations in terms of being able to kind of develop new applications on top of it with a very restricted scripting language that was available, which I guess inspired Vitalik Buterin to develop and design and launch the Ethereum network. We've obviously, over the last few years, seen the growth of adoption around people building on Ethereum. But there's other options now there in the market. Some people say there's certain limitations around Ethereum itself. You decided to build on the NEAR protocol. Can you just explain what research you did looking across the board, given there are many options now, and why you and your team decided to build on Near?
Oh, yeah. I will start from the beginning of the team. We formed this developer team back in April 2013,
Okay.
2019. And we call ourselves CDOT, and we cooperate with quite a few layer one protocol to do some grand project development, especially focused on blockchain interoperability area. We have been working with Polkadot, Cosmos. We were granted by Cosmos Ecosystem Foundation (ICF) to implement IBC protocol on Substrate, and we deliver Ethereum cross-chain bridge to Flow, Oasis, and Platon, and we integrate. We transplant Chainlink Oracle to Solana. This project was co-founded by Solana and the Chainlink, and we work with Near to build a decentralized relay network for the Rainbow Bridge to enhance the reliability and so we do a lot of work on blockchain development, especially interoperability. And so we are quite familiar with those layer one project, and it's very late for us to decide to build our own protocol. It's I think it's November last year, and there is something I would say come to our mind that we can build a new type of multi-chain network based on the work we have done before, and the idea is for each multi-chain network there need a hub or relay to facilitate interoperability and provide security to the chain around it. But for Cosmos and Polkadot, this relay or hub itself is a layer one protocol. But we are a small team. We only have 6 developers at that time, and we don't think we have the capacity to build our own layer one protocol. So the idea is why we could implement a relay in form of smart contract and run this relay on the existing layer one protocol. And so we since we are familiar with all these mentioned projects, we do a lot of research and investigation, and we think Near is our best choice, since the technology there is very I would say marvelous. It's in Near has a fast maintainability and layer one scalability and very concrete, awesome VM on the blockchain, and Near protocol he focused on usability. In my opinion, usability is the single most important property for a public blockchain, because each blockchain will have their great property, but the usability is the sum up. You cannot provide great usability if you have a bottleneck in the architecture. That means you cannot have a weakness to provide if you have a weakness in some aspect, you will not give out great usability. So so we choose Near, and fortunately they like our idea, and the founder, the co-founder Ilya, he lived in China last year, and we meet a lot, we talk a lot. He think Octopus Network can expand Near ecosystem to the multi-chain area. So we made the strategic investment deal. The Near Foundation invest in $1 million to our project. I think it's the first project invest by Near Foundation. So we began this journey, from then on.
Okay. So let's start taking a closer look at what it is you're developing. The goal here is of the Octopus Network is really to simplify the process for application developers to build decentralized applications. I guess with the objective of keeping costs down as well for people transacting on those networks, compared to, say, people building directly on Ethereum, and they're leveraging the network security of Ethereum, but then they're also subject to fluctuations in transaction fees, which are quite stifling, especially for young projects potentially. So we're going to put up on the screen your architecture design. Perhaps you could start talking us through first what it is at a high level you're looking to address and which problems you're looking to tackle. And then we can maybe look at this and go through the architecture of the system so people have a better understanding of what it is you're developing.
So the first thing we need to talk about a new concept, Appchain, and it's short for application-specific blockchain, and it's quite different from smart contract. Yeah, a smart contract is great, but I think Ethereum has been go live for 6 years, and a lot of developer team have tried a lot of idea about decentralized application, but only DeFi got we could say a sustainable success. But what's the problem? In the other ideas such as prediction markets, TCR, decentralized social meaningless. I don't think so. I think smart contract is not the right technology for this application. Maybe it's not the right technology for decentralized application except DeFi. My argument will be we can build a specific blockchain for an application. The advantage will be the application will enjoy a dedicated transaction process throughput, and the consensus cost is very, very low. So it's not it will be very cheap for user for usage, and you are not worried about the competition on the block space. And if you are game, you're running well, but some DeFi protocol are doing airdrop or liquidity mining, then suddenly the block space turn out to be very expensive. Yeah, so your user have to fall back and wait for a day or two. Yeah, it's not happen in application specific blockchain because the whole chain will be used for your user. And the second advantage will be customizability. So for this app chain, you can customize every aspect to make it fully optimized for your use case. and maybe you don't want user to pay gas fee. You can decide it, and maybe you want to adjust the wallet interaction process. You can do it, but you can never done that on MetaMask because you cannot control it. So it will make a very usable decentralized application by build it on Appchain. And the third one is what I will call it upgradability or evolvability. That means since application for a decentralized application is a relatively small community, and we have on-chain governance capability on each substrate-based appchain. And so for this community, they can reach consensus through this on-chain governance mechanism and to upgrade this appchain and in a very efficient way. Maybe it's for eliminate some DeFi defects, or they want to improve this protocol to satisfy the requirement from the community. So we call it evolvability because I think it's the most important advantage for Appchain in the long run. We all know about the theory of evolution. It's not the strongest beast survive. It's the things which can adapt to the environment very quickly, who will survive. So it's the great. It's very critical property you want to have for a decentralized protocol or decentralized application. So we build this Octopus Network to serve Appchain specifically. We do not think we will be another Ethereum, or we do not expect some big generic platform chain join our network. I think it's meaningless. But for application Appchain, it is maybe again a decentralized social media protocol, a decentralized advertising protocol, or prediction market, or TCR, and instead of build it on a smart contract, you can try the power of Appchain, and the Octopus Network will help developers to easily bootstrap and run this Appchain. For Appchain, they need a lot of facility around it. First one, it needs security. But for an application chain, most of the newly emerging POS based, right? Then the POS security coming from the asset staked on this chain. But for a new chain, if their token, their coin do not have a great value, they will not have great security. So it's a chicken egg problem. And from Octopus Network, any Appchain can lease security very easily, and it will help them to bootstrap their security very quickly. And the other kind of service we provide is interoperability. Since we have been building cross-chain bridge for a while, we know the complexity of the reliable and safe bridge. There is many traps, and for application team, it do not make sense to build and maintain their own cross-chain bridge. It's not efficiency to do that. So once Appchain join Octopus Network, it can interact with near protocol seamlessly and trustlessly, and they can interact with Ethereum through the great bridge built by Near, Rainbow Bridge. And yeah, and the second one is we provide a lot of infrastructure such as blockchain explorer, RPC gateway. That is something like the Infura, and we are developing on the indexer for all the Appchain, and we are building a archive gateway. We will archive all the block history for each Appchain to decentralize storage, and we can get back to this point later why we do that. And so it's the whole set infrastructure for an Appchain team. They need to only to develop to work on their runtime. It's the block on-chain logic of their chain and the front end, and leave the other technical problem to the network, to Earth. So, and the first one I want to mention is community. And you can deploy a set of smart contract on Ethereum or any other smart contract blockchain with very low cost. But how do you get your target user, your target protocol participant to know your protocol? That is the real problem, right? And for Octopus, we are expanding our community very fast. We now have I think is maybe 13K or 14K Twitter follower, and it's growing very fast. And we got more than 10K 10K people in our Discord, on Discord and the Telegram group, and we are invest a lot of resource to expand this community. But this community is not only for us. We would like to see this community turn out to be a meta community that we can grow. Web decentralized application community from this meta community.
Sure.
Once the Appchain go live in our network, we will help them to spread the idea about their protocol, the value proposition, the tokens value, and hopefully there will be some guy interested for this protocol and to be the early bird of the participant, maybe buy a chunk of token at the early stage, and it helped the application community to bootstrap. So yeah.
Yeah, and for the end user, I think that's important because obviously, as you mentioned there, that people building applications on smart contracting networks and platforms such as Ethereum, you are relying on putting a huge amount of trust into the code behind that smart contract. And yes, people go and have audits on a case-by-case basis of their smart contracts, but that's required for every single application that's being developed. And that's a huge amount of work and a huge amount of trust which is imbued in those developers. Whereas with the Octopus network model, you have a fixed set of tools, let's call them tools, or tool set for people to build applications on, but that tool set is the same for everyone. So the end user is just relying on the trust and the security of those building blocks per se, which are then being utilized by everyone building applications rather than new building blocks being developed every time as they might be on the Ethereum network. So should we, let's just go through in a little bit more detail on the right-hand side of this schematic, which represents the Octopus Network protocol. Can you just talk us through who the actors are on the network and how the system is designed to work and how incentives are structured to help maintain security.
Yeah. So this the major role of the network will be OCT holders, and they have a OCT token in their pocket, and they want to grab some profit from this asset. And the way to do that is to stake OCT token to a Appchain and run a node for this Appchain. And so for all the people it's essentially make him a validator of this Appchain, and all the validator of one Appchain will consist in an Appchain network and form a BFT consensus with them, and they are carrying out the protocol of this Appchain, and they will earn the block rewards paid in the Appchain native token. Now, this is the major difference from Appchain staking and the other staking. You stake OCT token to an Appchain, but you do not earn OCT. Yeah, because OCT is a non-inflationary token, and you earn the block rewards paid in native token of this Appchain. So the block rewards we can call it security rent. It's the blockchain Appchain to pay for the OCT token holder to ensure their security. For if any of them do something badly, this malicious actor will be slashed on the Octopus relay. Yeah, and for every full node in this Appchain can submit a fault proof to the relay and to prove that something have done wrong. And once this fault proof was verified on relay, the staked OCT holder, the staked OCT will be slashed. So if there is, so the security level will depends on the staking level. If there are a lot of OCT staked on an Appchain, this one will get very high level of security. So for Appchain, they can freely decide their security level. If they think the security level is not good enough, they can make an on-chain governance proposal and to increase the block rewards. And if this Appchain their economic go very well, their token price go up, and it will definitely attract more staking to their Appchain, and their security level will go up accordingly. But if this community feel that we do not need to pay that much for our validator because our security level is good enough, maybe too good, and so they can they can adjust upgrade their protocol to lower their security rent, and their staking level will decrease accordingly. So it's a free market mechanism.
So when a new application launches, it's likely to offer higher rewards to attract security from OCT token holders. OCT token holders can look across the whole ecosystem and see which app chains are out there that they wish to support. In the early days, they'll probably diversify their risk. And then as certain applications start to gain traction, build more users, more transactions being processed, then it's likely that the rewards that the app chain needs to pay the validators can be brought down because there's probably more people staking to provide security to the app chain.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you are the better explainer on our economic design.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows that your documentation has been well written, because that's what I managed to garner when I was reading all of your information.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
so kind of that's clear, and we'll come on soon in terms of how easy it is for new developers to come on and start developing applications, then hand
Mm-hmm.
over the kind of the function of security to the validators on the network who are playing their role.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just then talk a little bit more on this diagram about the Octopus bridge, and then how you connect into near, and what role the near network is
Oh,
playing at this
yes.
point?
Yeah, sure, sure. So we have been working with blockchain interoperability for quite a while, and I would say the golden standard of the uh, bridge between blockchains. We would say for each chain they will run uh, their light client inside this chain for from the other to validate anything happen on the other chain, and it turned out not so simple for most of chain. It require each chain have a very sufficient uh, uh, light client implementation, and we and for the bridge inside Octopus Network, we use light client in one direction. That means we run a light client inside inside near for each app chain, so it can validate anything happen on these appchains. But for the other direction, we use another approach. We could say this approach is like an oracle. But let me explain. For an oracle, you need some node to grab the information from the source chain, submit it to the target chain, and the target chain will have to trust this oracle. It commonly called witness or node tree in this paradigm. They have to choose this witness, and but if uh, uh, each target chain node run its own node tree, its own witness, and the witness will vote on the target chain based on the voting power of this of their respective node. The trust side is not is exactly the same with the validator set. So it will not bring any extra trust for this witness. This is exactly the mechanism we use for Appchain. For each Appchain node, they have a witness which can connected with an near node, which this node can this validator trust on and grab information from this RPC link, and that is about observation. For each Appchain validator, they observe something happen on near, and they will vote on Appchain to be sure these things really happen on near, so they can they can take some action based on this event, and fortunately we do not need to deploy a separated witness because for Substrate there is a great library named as Offchain Worker, that is some code can run in a separate process or thread, but it's off chain. But the code from the chain, but code come from the chain itself. So we implement this witness based on off-chain worker, and all the validator will know what's happened on the main chain, that's on near protocol. So this is the mechanism for Octopus bridge to work. And since we use this witness or oracle mechanism, there will be no relayer needed in this direction from near to Appchain. But we do need relayer to relay the block header from Appchain to near, and we have to run this relayer service on ourselves for now. But hopefully, once we have some more developer resource, we will implement the relayer into a decentralized relayer network. Right. We can properly decentralize this off-chain service. Yeah.
Okay. And then beyond that, just on the left-hand side of the schematic, we see developing a called the Rainbow Bridge into the Ethereum network. Idea being, you mentioned again in the middle that there's DeFi applications within the NEAR protocol and across that network that people appchains or people operating appchains within the Octopus environment. Those tokens can bridge whether into the NEAR network or to other networks in the future, where those tokens can be traded on DeFi platforms potentially, because those app tokens will need price discovery and a mechanism for people to trade in and out of those. So that's the vision, I guess, going forward.
Yes. I think the smart contract is great for DeFi. For its composability, and for Appchain, it will never reach that level of composability, and I think the major use case for layer one, whether it's Ethereum or NEAR, will be DeFi, and this DeFi network will provide capital to the we would say digital economic entities, and just like the financial industry do for our society, they allocate resource, they allocate capital to each production industry to the companies, and we would like to see a lot of application-specific blockchain. They are the production economic entity, and they will all around the financial center, and that is Ethereum or NEAR. And since NEAR have a far more bandwidth, or we do think their DeFi network will boost in the coming months or in the coming years. And for each Appchain, the assets, their forged, their minted can be transferred to this financial network and enjoy the liquidity at the network. And it also and for the DeFi network, they need various type of assets. Like Vitalik said, we cannot just create token to facilitate the trading of other token, right? And in our network, these Appchains, they are real digital economy and in decentralized way, and they will contribute all their assets to the financial center.
Okay. So let's move on. I know your IDO is underway, going quite well, I hear, as I understand. So that's where you're gaining more funding from further or beyond the grants that you received initially from the NEAR Foundation. can you give some examples of, maybe we'll move on to, you have some examples of early adopters that have been building applications as appchains, but for people coming in and wanting to explore the Octopus network further, what does it take for someone to come? What programming languages are they required to build applications with? And how can they get more involved and start building applications and testing out applications on your network?
Yeah, sure. That for now we support Substrate based Appchain, and Substrate is a very good blockchain framework. Theoretically, you can build any type of blockchain based on Substrate, and we focus on those projects who build decentralized, we call Web3 application on Substrate, and there are a lot of projects going hanging around. If there is several hundred Substrate-based projects all around the world, and some of them are application chain, and some of them are just generic platform chain, or some facility chain. They provide privacy computing or storage or DID to other application, and we do not pay attention to this type of Substrate-based project. We spend a lot of time to talk with the application-specific blockchain built on Substrate, and since some great guys have migrate EVM to Substrate and make Substrate 100% compatible with EVM, with Ethereum. That means you can interact with a Substrate-based chain from MetaMask without any hurdle. And our plan is to support EVM development, EVM application by the end of this year. That means you still get your own chain. This Appchain is dedicated for your application, but the application logic can be written in Solidity and deployed a smart contract on this chain.
Okay. Well, I see you've already got some early adopters building things from decentralized music sharing platforms, from medical data marketplaces, to just full decentralized social networking protocols, etc. So there's some of the early examples. If people come in to build applications, is there a process for them being accepted onto the network, or is it a case that they just can build and commit their applications to go live themselves?
Since we are Meta protocol to bootstrap to launch Appchain, we do spend a lot of time to design this Meta protocol. The goal is to filter out the high quality, long-term thinking application level protocol in our ecosystem. So although it's permissionless, we do not want any application just jump on this network and go live. And if we do not have some filtering mechanism, there will be a lot of pyramid scheme blockchain, or some gambling blockchain join our eco, and it will driven out the decent long-term thinking application at the end. And so we do have we have a process. This process is the part of the protocol. The first step, Appchain developer team will register on our protocol, and we will do the auditing for them. This auditing is for two purposes. The first one is there is no significant vulnerability inside the implementation. The other is the implementation is complying to their specification or white paper. That means they do things they claim to do, right? And after the auditing, this Appchain will go inside a pipeline, a queue, yeah. And in this queue, OCT holder will determine who will go live or not. And OCT holder can upvote or downvote to an Appchain, and for each period of time, it's about 2 weeks. We will, the protocol will pop up the most popular Appchain to another stage, and this Appchain will go live in our network. So for Appchain, for OCT holder, since they have an intention to stake their OCT token to earn the rewards from Appchain, so they have the responsibility to do due diligence on Appchain, which one will create value, which one is the long term have a solid team behind it, and will create value in the long run, and they will try to pick the most promising Appchain project inside the queue. And for us, we are founders, and we in charge of the foundation. We at the initial stage, we have superpower in this ecosystem, and we will not hesitate to use it if we find some Appchain is a Ponzi scheme in itself. We will downvote it to the bottom and never let them go live in our network. And by doing that, I think little by little there will be social contract formed in our community. That means what kind of Appchain are good, what kind of Appchain are evil, what kind of Appchain we should support. And once this social contract formalized, we can we will be very glad to give up this superpower and let the community decide.
Okay, no, that makes a lot of sense. So so I know that as I said, you're running your IDO at the moment, and you're due to move from testnet to mainnet in about a month's time. Can you just tell us a little bit more what's on your future roadmap beyond that?
Oh it's huge a lot. It's a lot.
Just pick some of the highlights then over the next 12 months or so.
Actually, in our design, there is a cornerstone of this design is the Arweave archive. We do this to ensure each and every Appchain have a forkability in itself, because we have an on-chain governance for each Appchain, and they can upgrade once they make the consensus. But the thing is well based on token voting, right? It's their native token holder will vote on these proposals. So what if a millionaire, rich people grab a lot of token and to adjust this protocol to benefit himself by sacrificing the interest of the others, and there's not so much to do for the community to prevent that happen, right? But for Appchain inside on our network, we have make an archive for the whole block history, and we will provide tools to fork out a new appchain from this block history at any given any height. Yeah, so the community will may coordinate with inside the community and decide to fork this appchain and maybe slash the enrichment stake in the chain. And by doing that, even if each appchain will only get, say, a few dozens of validators, and this on-chain governance will based on token voting, we still have some guarantees on the decentralization.
Yeah. Okay. And that's where you're where you're integrating with Arweave as a decentralized storage system, so that all of that history will be stored in a decentralized manner.
Yes. Since it's a permanent storage and properly decentralized, we can rely on their storage to support this forkability.
Okay, cool. Very interesting. So just coming into an end here, obviously there's been a huge amount of activity over the last year or two, especially as DeFi has really exploded, and a huge amount of the development that's going on. Just more generally within the industry, what do you think for you the biggest challenges that the industry as a whole needs to overcome to help these technologies and use cases to go mainstream? And what's also exciting you the most? What do you think's coming down the line, which you think is most interesting?
The past year is very exciting, and I think the DeFi boom is good for the industry because it attracts a lot of smart people in this circle, just like 17 or 13, we have been in each bull run we will see a lot of smart people join in this industry. And the most difficult thing is, I think, is incentive, and we design decentralized protocol to provide proper incentive to right person, to make them choose their own strategy to join this protocol, and hopefully their participant will be benefit to the net effect of the protocol. But the incentive is not always right, and for each bull run, there is huge room for scanner to grab quick money from crypto space, and so I think it's the responsibility of KOL, of researchers and the medias like yours to tell people which project is scam, which project is doing great things to help this industry, and because it's very complex and it's not possible for ordinary people to differentiate scam project from the real hardworking project, because the scammers, they have a more resource to hire some very famous people or to write fancy white paper or present a fancy website to investors. So I think it's our responsibility, the researchers, the institutional investor, and the media practitioner to tell people.
No, absolutely agree. And it's definitely something that has been an ongoing problem over the years, but as you say, it's a challenge which needs addressing, and I think gradually better sources of media and better sources of research, helping people at least to do their own research before they dive in and get a better understanding of some of these projects. So just to finish it up, what is it that you're most excited about for the industry in general over the next year or two?
Since I'm a technical guy, and the most exciting things for me is always new technology, such as the progress of zero knowledge proof. It can hugely transform our infrastructure. And I find some projects such as Mina is very interesting, and since we are we could say we build this application marketing network to scale blockchain infrastructure, and I pay a lot of attention to the we'll say the dedicated data availability layer for blockchain, such as what Ledger do, and I think Polygon have published a solution named Well, and several other projects has exploring this area. So once we have a dedicated data availability layer, we can split the responsibility of blockchain into 2 parts or even 3 parts. If we may give some brand new solution to the basic problem that we are facing for now. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Well, look, Louis, thank you so much for joining us today. Really great. Thanks for kind of explaining and articulating what it is you guys are developing. All very interesting. Wishing you and the team every success. Firstly, with the current ongoing fundraising, but also just for the rollout to mainnet and seeing the progress, and hopefully building a larger community of application developers using the Octopus Network. If anyone's interested, they can go to your website at oct.network, where there's all the information they need to see how they can get involved and start building applications with you guys. So thank you very much for joining us, Louis.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. Thank you for having me here. Yeah.
Absolute pleasure.
Bye.
Goodbye.